Policy matters. All right? Policy matters. Now, we're going to talk about Donald Trump in a second, but I voted for President Reagan. My first vote that I cast in 1980, I'm dating myself. I know I look like I'm 45, but I'm a little older than that. My first vote was for Ronald Reagan. And he said, I'm pro-life. We have to rein in Russia. We have to make America strong. We're the city on the hill. He was very inspirational. Jimmy Carter was a policy wonk. And by the way, pray for the former president that he gets his soul right with God. He has cancer, as it is being reported, and he's almost 90 years old or 90 years old. So he's not in good health right now. And he claims to be a Christian. He's baptized, reads the scriptures, but he supports the murder of babies. Okay? And he campaigned on the murder of babies. And that puts him in great danger with the Almighty. But back to Reagan. Reagan inspired people. And so when he was running, people would mock him and say he's not smart, or he, heaven forbid, he has control over nuclear weapons because we're going to have a nuclear war with Russia if he gets elected, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out that he was certainly the greatest president in the last half of the 20th century. So, but policy matters, all right? And Donald Trump is inspirational. He's touching nerves with people. But again, policy matters, and he blew it with Planned Parenthood. His answer, he answered Sean Hannity, and he did some interview on CNN where he said, look, I'm against what they do with abortion, but they do other good things for women, and I've got Republican women telling me that they do good things for women, and maybe we could use some kind of leverage against them. He's a businessman, so he's thinking, look, because he did say he would shut down the government over Planned Parenthood. So I was like, yeah, that's awesome. But then he says that, no, we don't want to take away all their money. We just don't want them doing abortions. And he also said his daughter is who is advising him on these matters. Well, we'll try and get through to the daughter. Hopefully somebody will get through to her and explain it a little bit better. Because number one, he clearly does not know, or at least didn't discuss it, that Planned Parenthood is an ongoing cover-up of sexual crimes against minors. Think this through with me. Every time a pregnant 15-year-old goes into a Planned Parenthood, I don't care what state of the union, she is a walking crime scene. You understand? Every state in the union still has laws on the books against sexual activity depending on the age. Every state in the union. So when these girls go in who are pregnant, oftentimes with boyfriends that are over the age of 18 or over the age of 21, that girl is a walking crime scene. They are required by law to go to the authorities. And they're not. They're covering up what Planned Parenthood is doing. I don't think Trump knows this. Maybe he does, and he's turned, looking the other way. This is not going to play out well for him. I can promise you that. Ben Carson, on the other hand, said the truth about Planned Parenthood. It was really funny. In fact, let's put the quote up on the screen. I want to read it and get it right. He said, well, maybe I'm not objective when it comes to Planned Parenthood, but I know who Margaret Sanger is, and I know that she believed in eugenics and that she was not particularly enamored with black people. And one of the reasons that you find most of their clinics in black neighborhoods is so that you can find the way to control that population. And I think people should go back and read about Margaret Sanger, who founded this place. A woman who Hillary Clinton, by the way, says she admires. Look and see what people in Nazi Germany thought of her. He's right. You can read Killer Angel, read the book Grand Illusions. Both books are by George Grant. In my book, Accessory to Murder, I have a fairly lengthy section on Margaret Sanger. She was an evil woman. She really wanted to decrease the black population. She called many people, including blacks, human weeds, okay? And she did hang out with people that were Nazis and were into the eugenics movement. He knows his stuff. He was right. Donald Trump, not so much. Mike Huckabee said, if I become president, I'm going to try them criminally. Go Governor Huckabee.